legends, welcome back to the channel. Just thought we'd do a quick video. As some of you would know, we've just bought ourselves a quad bike trailer. We've only just recently picked it up from Perth. Some of the guys that follow us on socials would have seen that little bit of a trip that we just put up on Insta and stuff. The reality is this is our first trip away in it. So while we're on this trip, we just thought we'd do a bit of not a review at all, just a bit of here, meet Tags. His name's Tags because he just tags along. And we just thought we'd show you it and tell you what we got. So I just want to do a bit of a run through of it, and then sort of see what you reckon, see if you've got any comments or any feedback for us anyway. So it's a 2024 flatbed trailer built by Wrangler Stockyards and Trailers in Bullsbrook, WA. Little family company. They're actually like a sheep family. What do you call them? Farmers, sheep farmers, I guess. And they do make stockyard gates, fencing, trailers, all sorts of trailers. So if you're in the market for a good solid trailer, definitely look them up. It's 14 by 7, full steel. Tear weight is 1250 kilo. So it is quite heavy, but built to suit us because, as you know, we like to head out on the corrugations and into the tougher parts of Oz. So starting, it's just got a standard 50mm ball. We'll look to replace that maybe in the future, depending on if we actually need it, to be honest with you. Rated at 3.5 tonne. It's got the handbrake. It's got the breakaway box, which is bloody handy. Electric brakes. The jockey wheel, unfortunately, is not big enough for the cruiser. When we went to pick it up, we actually had to load it with a forklift, so we're a bit nervous about that, weren't we? It was like, oh well, that's a bit frustrating, but we've now put a couple of bits of timber in the front box here that we can put down on that for the interim, because I want to just make sure I get the right jockey wheel. Probably looking at one of those twin arc ones that have got the real big stroke on them. But that's all right. It's working for the interim. Drawbar 150 by 5 by 50, so nice and strong. We're not going to break that anytime soon. Chassis is 200 by 50 by 200 by 50 by 5mm. Sorry. So same sort of makeup as that, but deeper. They've got the two 100s on top of each other. So it's as strong as an ox. Spare tyre. So we're running on this alloy rims. They're a 16-inch rim with a 265/75/16. I'll touch on them a little bit after, but look, I mean, we love them. These tyres, they're muddies. I think they're some of them generic tyres that they put on pretty much any trailer on the market nowadays. Look, up the top here, we've got a strap box. I'll just jump up here. Hopefully you should be able to film from down there. Basically, I might just grab that off you, babes. So what we've got here is just like a bit of a top box where, we're just at this point, we've got our fishing rods and just straps, all that sort of stuff in there. Recovery gear for the trailer specific. We'll just sort of make that up as we go, just our locking thing, chains. This does lock down. As you can see, we have been on a couple of dirt roads so far with it, and it's completely dust seal, dust proof, and waterproof. That locks down like that. We pissed down rain the other day, and we didn't have any issues. It was dry as a bone in there, wasn't it, bub?
Yep.
So that's good, lockable, like I said. And then we've just got the straight through box here. So essentially these aren't just made for the purpose we're using them for. These are made as essentially a tradie trailer. It does different sort of formats, I guess you'd say, or designs. This is the one that suits us. So a lot of people run compressors and stuff in there. Not sure how we're going to set this up. It's only new to us. Obviously at the moment, we've just got our helmets and our spares for the trailer, a jack, and all the spares for the quad bikes and stuff. Not sure how we're going to go about that. What I wanted to show you though, when we're talking about the spare wheel here, bit of a negative for me is that spare wheel is mounted to the box here. I'll see if I can go to the outside and show you guys. When I push on the wheel, I don't know whether you can see that flexing on the back of the box. That's a bit annoying for me. Just the fact that that whole tyre, as much as it's sitting on the drawbar, the fact that it's only holding on with that little flat washer. So I'm going to change that out. That's just a bit of a negative. Not a negative, but I just think that bit of a design fault. They could maybe do that a little bit better. So I'll just like cut out maybe a 600 be 600 or 400 be 400 sort of plate of even just a bit of checky. Bang that on there just so it's pulling a bigger surface. But again, no dust, no water in there, so that it works a treat. The only other thing too, what we'll do, we're talking about it before, because it's blowing 6,000 knots here today, this door this morning swung around and it was, could have been quite easily like stretched that hinge and buggered it on us. So we're saying this morning we might just put a bit of chain across here just as a bit of a safety for that. Other than that, brilliant, lockable. I think this checker plate might help us with a bit of stone damage, hopefully. Onto the deck. So it does come with the 3 hoops, all removable. This one's obviously the headboard. 3 removable hoops. We've removed the back one just to suit our needs, just because with that back quad going on sideways where we want to locate it just for balance of the trailer, it doesn't sit in the hoop, so that hoop's gone. But that's a handy addition. It did come with pins that we've taken out just because I wanted to spray there, because I've actually, when we picked it up, obviously there's a bit of a gap and they actually started to rust there. A little bit of surface rust, no big deal. I've just sprayed a bit of that tactile in there, filled that up, just sprayed like a can each in each hoop, so hopefully that'll prevent the rust. The whole deck has these, sorry, I hope that's probably too loud in the microphone, but has 4 of these. Obviously they're not perfectly located for our bikes, it's not what they're designed to do, but we've worked that out. That you'll see, we'll put some pictures in amongst here, guys, how we've loaded the trailer, and then we did a bit of a trial run for the drive down here. We didn't know. I've sort of tried to centralise them in between these ones and the back ones, the bikes, and then so puts not too much weight on the ball, but put plenty of weight at the back as well, just to sort of see if we can get that trailer sitting pretty. And to be honest, we didn't overload the cruiser. We sort of took some of the stuff that we would usually run in the cruiser and put it in the trailer, didn't we, Dale? Yeah. And it towed like a bloody dream, didn't it? Mm. I don't know whether I got lucky or it just does generally tow nice. It towed nice from Perth home. It towed empty, and then we loaded up the 2 bikes and esky, swag, all that sort of stuff. Again, I'll drop in some pictures of it loaded, so you can have a look at that, how we've loaded it for this particular trip. It's obviously going to get loaded more as we go, but bloody towed like a dream, just quietly. So suspension, it's got the 50mm box axles, square axles, and it's leaf sprung. Now, to be honest with you, we looked at different trailers. I'm a bit of a believer in leaf sprung trailers have been around for 1,000 years. You could potentially go into a farm in the middle of a remote part of Australia and you could get a little spring off, I don't know, anything just to get you out of the shit. Make no mistake about it, we would love, the mad coil sprung trailer and all the rest of it, but the trailers we looked at that were compatible with this, with that suspension, we were looking at another 15 odd grand, just to have that suspension. And I mean, we're on a budget just like everyone else, so we opted out of that. Look, who knows? If this works for us, we'll leave it at this. If the future tells us that it's just not going to work, we'll look at that in the future. But for the interim, it works bloody beautiful. It towed like a dream down here. Obviously, you'll see this post. It came with sides. Again, we'll put those pictures in. We don't really want the sides on there. I think the sides we've taken off, we've left at home. It just makes it easier rather than pulling the sides down and they're banging and crashing and getting chipped and all the rest of it. And then when we're trying to chuck the ramps on to load the bikes, it becomes a bit painful. They will definitely have their uses, because I mean, this trailer will be a life trailer all going well. So if we were bloody moving house or helping someone or going getting wood or whatever, we could, put the sides back on. So we're going to leave them off for the interim. Clearance lights, is that what you said you call them? My wife picked me up on that. Clearance lights right along, 1, 2, 3. They're a bloody handy addition, just so when you are driving along, you can see that you've got a long trailer, I guess. My come around here. So I've got the full LED tail lights there, and a trundle draw. So this is the other thing, this trundle draw, bloody bonus, absolute bonus. What we don't like about this is, and I think this is another design fault, something that, again, you know, maybe it's just a price range thing. So this, when we picked up this trailer, we were like stoked, yeah, wicked trundle draw. We drove back from Perth and we weren't sure why the box was all, the trundle draw was full of dust and rocks, and not dust, rocks and stuff. There was all these little rocks and stuff, and I just said to Fee, maybe it was something that we had on our boots or whatever when we chucked them in there when we were down there. What it is that this trundle draw, you probably won't be able to see, it's actually not encapsulated. It's not in a box per se. So it's not dust proof, it's not waterproof, it's not anything. Like, all that dust is just coming straight up underneath the tray, and the rocks that are flicking off the wheels are actually making their way into here. Not a huge deal, but you clearly wouldn't put stuff in here that you wanted to protect. So we're just running the crab pots and that sort of stuff. Some chains, a bag of sort of tooling, a couple of rods without reels on them, because I don't want my reels getting smoked. But that, I don't know, I think that could be done better. Just as if you're buying a trailer similar to this, just something to think about, because I would have rather that been encapsulated. So if we did want to put stuff in there, and if we were to go through a river crossing, this wasn't just going to fit. It has got drain holes in there. Clearly that's why they put drain holes in it, because if you went through water, yeah. But even your road grime, if it's piss and rain or mud, you're going through a bog hole or whatever, all that shit's coming in here. So I'm not sure. I might be able to get underneath, just put a bit of angle there, screw it to the floor, just with a rubber flap, just to stop stuff getting in there. It won't stop necessarily water, but might stop rocks and mud and all that sort of stuff. But lockable, good size trundle draw. Yeah, it's about, I don't know, what would it be? 1,500, don't know the specifications on it, but look, bloody handy bit of kit. Yeah, like I said, lockable. What else have we got, babes? Sort of not too much. Like, that's the trailer in a nutshell, I guess. Yeah, we just chuck the ramps up here. Well, here you go. This is where you can make mistakes. I wouldn't have thought, I laid under this trailer the other day. These two bits of tape are hiding holes, not hiding holes, but stopping water going in there. We decided when we bought the trailer that we were going to run the bikes. Well, we always thought we were going to side load them. And then when we picked it up, we went and seen our daughter in Karratha, and she said, why don't you drive them on that way? And we thought, because we never even thought of it, to be honest with you, and then we thought, oh, we just might have a crack. So instead of, like, probably processing a little bit, but I looked at that side, and the wires come from both sides of the trailer. I didn't think there'd be wiring across here. Well, it turns out there was, and I drilled down in here so I could put them runners on here, the ramps, and then put a locking pin in there to stop them sliding while we were driving up and down, and chewed the wiring up, brand new wiring. So there's a lesson for inexperienced people like me that, yeah, I didn't think there'd be wiring. I did check, and I made the assumption again that there wasn't, and there was. So I've had to actually drag all that wiring back out and rewire it. So that was good fun. Always handy a couple of days before you go on the trip. So we out, knocked off work, and had to come home and lay under there with cap lamps, didn't we, until 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Rewiring trailers. But anyway, all part of the deal. Outside of that, legends, that's about the trailer in a nutshell of how we bought it. So what I'd like to also mention is, when we looked at this trailer, we've been looking at trailers for a long time, and we've nearly bought a couple of second-hand ones, and I'm glad we bloody didn't, because we were potentially going to fork out money for a trailer that we would have had to modify to suit, and it still wouldn't have been what we really wanted. I know a lot of people go trailers that are a lot lower, and you basically drive up over the wheels, and you got your guards and all the rest of it. For lower, centre of gravity, I think that's a great concept. What we wanted this flat trailer for was simply to just get higher off the ground, better, ramp over, better departure angle. Yes, it is a higher centre of gravity, but we don't anticipate us going and doing Mount Impossible in it and just real hardcore tracks with the bikes on, or with the trailer on. our goal is to just go to the spots, drive as far as we can with the cruiser and the trailer, use the trailer as a base camp, and then we'll take off on the quads. That's the whole process for the quads, is trying to get deeper into the places where we wouldn't take the cruiser. So just even yesterday on this trip here, we went out across the mud flats, and there's not a hope in hell. We stopped at one stage there and just said, you wouldn't bring the cruiser, great spot, but you wouldn't bring the cruiser out there. Whereas that's why the quads are good. They just sit on top, and they're not hard to wash, spray them when you get home, keep the salt off them and all this, but you wouldn't take your car out there. So that's the whole concept behind that. When we bought the trailer, when I looked on it online and Fee had sort of told me about it, it said that it was Toyota colour. Now we made the assumption, because obviously you're looking online, it's as close as to a sandy taupe colour as you could get. So we sort of had it in our head, maybe it's it's just the photo online or whatever, that it was going to be sandy taupe and pretty much a match. When we got there, it clearly isn't. We were slightly disappointed, just that it was advertised as that. So yeah, I guess a little bit of buyer beware. It's not a deal breaker, or certainly wasn't a deal breaker. We're just a bit shattered that, because I think we had it in our head was going to match the cruiser perfect. Anyway, it didn't. We've moved on from that. Bit of red dirt on there, you wouldn't know. The only other thing that I would say is it is advertised as Toyota hubs. Now that's pretty much an open book, isn't it? I also, my mistake, I made the assumption, because of the colour, Toyota colour match, I don't know any other Toyota that's meant to be this sandy taupish colour outside of a 79. So again, my brain went straight to sandy taupe colour, Toyota hubs, and must be the 5-stud to suit the 79. Boom, wrong again, Brad. They're actually a 6-stud hub. So again, slightly disappointing, because we were hoping it would essentially be the whole outfit would be interchangeable. It's not now. So anyway, buyer beware for me, or just anyone that's, maybe just do that little bit more research. I didn't. I made assumptions and they bit me on the arse a little bit. Again, not a deal breaker, but it's just something to think of. The only other thing I want to mention before we leave this video, guys, is our goal. It'll be a work in progress, I guess. Our idea of this trailer is to have the 2 quads on here. We'll probably put a water tank underneath. What we want to do is take our rooftop tent off our 105 series and put it in this part of the trailer. We're desperate to get back into our rooftop tent. We're over swags. We're just done with swags. We don't mind sleeping swags, but we'd rather a rooftop tent. So we are going to have to make, because we're side loading, we're actually going to have to get a cradle made up in here, and so that the actual whole tent, the frame, will lift up to a 45, ride the bike on, bring it down, and then open the tent to sleep in. So we're looking for, obviously I'll work with an engineering company, so I mean it won't be hard to get that sorted, but I want to make sure that we only do it once. Outside of that, yeah, we'll sort of play around with it and sort of make it up as we go. If anyone out there is watching this that thinks they can come up with an idea for us or some suggestions for us, please let us know, because we're only learning with this. Yeah, if anyone thinks that we're doing something wrong, or they've experienced something with one of these trailers, to look out for, any of that sort of feedback, please, yeah, send it in to us and let us know what you think. And did you want to add something, Babes? No,
you've covered it.
No, all good. But we're bloody happy. We love it. A tow's good. It's what we've dreamt of for a long time, and we've finally got it. So it gets us out there. We get the quads on. We get to amazing places in Australia, and we go and enjoy it. So yeah, hope you like this quick little video. It's just a bit of this is what's going on. His name's Tags, because he just tags along, as I said at the start of the video. It's pretty basic, but it suits our needs. Anyway, thanks for watching, appreciate it, and please give us some feedback if there's anything that we need to know about this kind of setup or suggestions. We did have a lad, we sort of in pretty shitty reception on the way down, and he actually asked us a question if we were going to get it canvassed. And it was probably a pretty good concept. We may look at that. I just said no, we wouldn't, we were going to leave it open. But the more we've sat here over the weekend, we thought, if it was something we could squeeze in the budget, it might be something that we'd look into in the future. Just the fact that then we'd canvass it all off. It's lightweight. and it keeps a bit of the dust and the prying eyes and all the rest of it out of there. I mean, campers, you can look in there, but yeah, thanks for the suggestion, brother. We sort of might look into that in the future. Outside of that, we're done. We're going to get packed up and get out of here. Anyway, cheers, legends. Please like and subscribe, and tell your mates, eh? Red Dust Adventures. Cheers, legends.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since 9